FOG Andrew here, and the coach here for Family of Gamers. Welcome, more gamers, to an exciting, awesome episode. Today is another episode of Mule and Boule. Now, Mule and Boule is the series where we drink a mule, which is the official drink of Family of Gamers, and smoke a cigar, aka Boule, and we talk games.
We are smoking today a Padron.
Yes.
This is your first Padron?
This is my first Padron.
And?
It's pretty dang good.
Fantastic.
So,
it's a really good cigar.
We're talking games today, of course. What else will we talk about? But today, we're talking about something a little special, I think. What are we talking about?
Well, first of all, where's the game?
Oh, where is the game, actually? We don't have the game anywhere. Where is it?
Well, it is a totally, for us, I got a digital package, and it was from Blackside Studios. I got the digital only package for something that is really near and dear to my heart, and it is Hametsu. And it is a game where there is a cataclysm that happens in Japan, and basically, something happens, and monsters and oni and big monsters roam the land. The only thing that's different about this is it's in ancient Japan, in feudal Japan. And what it is the characters which you play are hunters. So we have nothing to show right now because I have a digital package. So I've furiously printing stuff up, and I have a PDF here that we can kind of go through. And Andrew will put some screenshots up of the book and whatnot, and we'll take it from there. But I like to talk about it. I just finished reading the rule book from cover to cover, and I'd like to get into it.
Yeah, I have not read it, so this is kind of my first impressions of some stuff about the book. And you, like you said, you read the whole thing basically. Right. So, yeah, I mean, well, what's the deal? With this game,
to me, I'm very excited about this game because, first of all, like I said, feudal Japan, anything to do with that. If anybody knows us about Test of Honor, Bushido, and things like that, anything samurai is perfect for us. What this does is it scratches the itch of, like, say, like a miniature game and a RPG, because it's more of a tournament style, and you guys will level up and whatnot. So you are going to play a hunter, okay? And there's a few things that you can do. You can go run out and bash somebody's heads in, or you could be stealthy and whatnot. And what happens is the scenarios start where you have your hunters are exploring the area for something. You have a mission or whatnot, and there are oni. So there are lesser onis, middle onis, in, like, say, warriors. 3 different levels of oni, and you fight them. You have to try to find clues, and then when you get to a certain amount of clues, the boss appears. And the boss could be, like, say, my favorite one is this giant spider. But the thing is, you don't need a dungeon master or a game master, whatnot.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, so there's no DM, no game master, no nothing. So the enemies are strictly AI.
It is, but they do things that, depending on what you do, they react to it. So let's say you're hiding and you're in stealth and they don't hear you, they can kind of, like, maybe walk past you, whatever. But if they have line of sight to you and they raise the alarm, but then again, you can also stealthily kill them so that you don't raise the alarm or whatnot. Very, very cool. And the way it works is you're going to uncover clues, and when you get to a certain amount of clues, a certain amount of points, every time you find a clue, you have to roll, and every time you find a clue, it adds +1 to it.
Right.
So if you have, say, 4 clues, you add +4 to it. And if you roll a 9, the boss appears. But when the boss appears, which is the big monster, all the oni kind of run away. And you got to figure out how to defeat the boss, or you can run away or whatever. And you can get gold, and you can buy items and things like that. So to me, that's just out of this world. There are a bunch of different classes. So we'll just play with it a little bit.
So you mentioned, different classes and stuff like that, for the hunters. So how does that work? Like, what are the classes essentially?
Well, there's a few different ones. There's, like, there's a monk or shinobi geisha. There's, like, different things. So there's like a school of magic, and there are 3 classes in that, and they have slightly different things. So like the monk or the bunraku, or those guys are more with the school of magic. And then you have school of self, which is like say shinobi, and a shinobi is another name for ninja, or geisha, matagai. But like the geisha has magic, but she's like a very supportive type thing, and like the monk, I'm sorry, the geisha is in the school of stealth, but she helps the party. She's like more of a support character.
Right.
So you're not going to be a geisha running in and killing the boss, but you're
Right.
going to be aiding,
Right.
where you need it. Like I said, the monk is kind of cool because he's like the martial artist, like the real, like a monk, Shaolin monk type. But he's a school of magic, and he can heal himself and like that. So it's almost like the monk in, like, say, D&D or something like that. And then what I like, school of strength, is the Ronin, the Gaijin, and the Sumo. So the Ronin is the masterless samurai. So that's your samurai. The Gaijin is, I think it's because the Dutch came over, and the miniature that they have is like almost like a knight with a sword and a shield. And then the Sumo. The Sumo is, I have to play the Sumo. He's the big guy. He's got the most health and most damaging physical attacks. But reading this and reading some of the scenarios that you have to do, some of the missions, I don't think having, like, say, a Ronin, a Gaijin, and a Sumo go after it. You have to have a good mix of stuff. So
You need the sumo, but you need the geisha. How do you say
geisha,
geisha?
right?
The sumo, the geisha to
And like the
be
Matagi,
supportive, and then
yeah, the Matagi is pretty cool because they, if I recall, I might be doing this wrong, but one of them, they they're like archers, but they use magic with the archery, so that would be good, like as a ranged attack and whatnot. Um, and what I really like is they captured the Japanese myths. So a lot of Japanese myths are, and like, if anyone watches anime and stuff like that, that's where it comes from. It's like say this um, ghost in a robe, and they have a robe, but you could tell it's kind of unearthly, but they have a white mask on, and it's like very eerie and stuff. And like there's my favorite is this huge spider, but she has like a geisha's mask on, and it's so cool. It's great. So there's a few ready-made scenarios. There's another set of characters in here, which I think is right up your alley.
Okay.
It is called the School of Corruption.
Okay.
All right, I want to read this to you. Nestled in the caves branching from the site of the cataclysm lies the School of Corruption. Half Oni mutants seeking refuge from both Oni and humans gather there to learn to survive. There's also rumor they have ways of corrupting the bodies of humans to fill out their ranks. New hunters with new abilities and specialities have been branching out from the caves and assisting and bringing down increasingly dangerous targets. So this is like a whole set of new dudes.
Okay.
All right. So, but it's more like uh, they have like demonic trinkets, which is like may not be targeted by an oni during the next enemy turn, consumed upon you. So it's like that, and it's similar to the other characters, but they're like half oni, half men. I like this because it's a different faction. Now, I'm not sure. The one thing I wanted to look into, because I know this is really the beta version, is can the School of Corruption, do they have to go on their own? Do they not play well with others? Or can they kind of mix in with a party? Can you take, like, say, a Keto with the Sumo and the Shinobi and the Geisha? I don't know. But that might be something where we could just do the School of Corruption and use the half Oni and like that. Models are fantastic. Like I said, I started printing them. They're really nice.
Those models look really nice.
And what you do is, like, you pick your path of legend that goes with it. And as you level up, you get more stuff. So it's like every level you get like two bonuses of powers. Stuff that you can do. So similar to an RPG. I like RPGs. Here's my problem, and I know you're running into this problem. I really want to play an RPG. You can't just sit down one night and do. All right, we're gonna do this whole module tonight.
Right.
You get through maybe 1/10 of it, and it's like, all right, we'll get together in 6 months when everybody's free. It's hard.
Yeah.
With this, you can do this and play the game, and like maybe finish the mission or finish the excursion and then level up and do all that good stuff later.
Right.
It comes with everything. It's got the PDF of the um, character sheets where you keep track
Gotcha.
of everything. You can buy stuff later on. You can buy more equipment and everything. And the thing I really like is it's very similar to 0200, where the sentries and the bad guys move a certain way, and you cooperatively um, do that, on patrol and whatever. So these guys are kind of like hunting, moving on patrol. You roll a dice, see what happens. If
Mm.
somebody's close to them, they react and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So as we're playing, we're going to have that out. We're going to have to maybe do a few test runs, but then eventually we can get it going.
Right.
There is a ready-made scenario that you can just jump right into with characters
Okay.
made and stuff. I guess we could do that to start off with, like we did that with Hellboy.
Mm.
But then later on, I would like to really just make some characters. I mean, we used to kind of do things different when we played Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm.
We used to have like 2 or 3 characters because you know we would go in and then all the wizards would die. So it would really stink if you go in and your guy dies. So we had more than one character, one or
Right.
two characters. I don't know if that'll work well here, but could work
Now,
good.
with this,
Mm-hmm.
is it like so you're not taking like like a faction of like a couple dudes and then going into the scenario. So you're making one guy, and that's the one guy you're playing
Right,
as, and then you go into the scenario.
right. So now the scenarios have where, let's say you have just 1 to 4 people playing. When you start off, it'll tell you, okay, well, if you have 1 to 4, you have like say 3 of these onis, 4 of these onis, and
Hmm.
5 of these onis.
Right.
Now you go, all right, so now we have 8 players going. Well, there's 10 level 1 onis, 12 twos, and 3 captains. Like, because there's small onis that are just kind of like, really
Right.
easy, but then there's like oni captains, which are the warriors, and they're
Right.
not that hard. They're very hard to kill.
Right.
So it's more of a numbers thing.
Mm.
So what do you do? Do we kill all the oni, take their loot and stuff, and then now here comes the boss. But we got our butts kicked, and we have very low health points, and the boss is going to just wipe us out 1, 2, 3. Or do we stealthily go find the clues, uncover the clues, stay healthy, maybe have some of some of the stronger guys, or
Hmm.
maybe ranged guys take out some of the oni that if we get found
Hmm.
and uncovered, out of stealth, and then maximize our health to fight the boss. Now,
Right.
sometimes you can't avoid that. You're hiding, and then oh my god, look, they look at this, and they fight them. There's cool things where people can drop traps,
Hmm.
and I've printed up a bunch of the trap things like calthrops or something like that, and guys walk into it, and the trap goes off. Um, so that's pretty cool in and of
Hmm.
itself. If somebody like randomly walks across it, something bad happens to them, but it's very dynamic, cinematic, and I like that. As I'm reading it, there was a lot, but as I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. Oh well, transition. Oh, that makes sense. Oh,
Hmm.
this and that makes sense. So,
Right.
yeah, I think Doug did a fantastic job at Blackside Studios. This book, I think it's Ben. He's their graphic artist, but if you look at the videos on Blackside Studios, he's the guy that makes all their terrain, because they sell terrain,
Mm.
this MDF terrain. He's like, okay, well, now you have this terrain. Let's make it a little better. And he starts doing this and putting snow in it or whatever. It's like battle torn. And he is fantastic. And he's the guy doing all the pictures and everything.
Mm.
And I asked him what was going on with the book. And he says, well, he keeps messing with the book. So I'm like, no, stop messing with the book. Just get it out. But when you look at the pictures in the book and the way it's laid out, so I know for you it's a big thing. So let's just go through it. This is one guy. Here's all his abilities. All right. Then you pick your path of legend, which is basically your your skills that you have, the extra
Right.
skills, and you go through it, and that's it. And then there's something where like you can actually change some of your stats. So let's say, for argument's sake, you're going to be a sumo, and he has a stat to fight. Now you know you're going to be fighting most of the time, so you increase your fight stat.
Right.
Now, if you're a, um, let's say you're a magic user, well, you want to increase a stat that makes magic better, and so on and so forth. So it's very straightforward with that. It's the divine favor. You can use one of them, but once you use it, it's gone. You can use two of them, but that's it. There's no more. So I'm probably a guy that'll just use it. But then like divine favor, you can use as a reroll later on and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
It seems very compared to like other RPGs like like D&D. We've done a few sessions of D&D. Um, seems like this is like very like RPG and miniature game
see, that's to me,
combined,
yeah, to
and
me
I
that
think
scratches the surface.
yeah.
But here's another thing too. You're not, not that there's anything wrong with it. When we do the D&D, we use some of the tiles, or we'll
Hmm.
use big graph paper and do
Yeah.
that. And there's nothing wrong with that. This, you use terrain,
Yeah.
and you use
Yeah.
the houses, you use the ponds, or the like, say, the Zen gardens,
Hmm.
or the
Mm.
houses that we have, the temples, the bells, all that cool
Right.
stuff,
Right.
trees everywhere. So you kind of load up the board, and you do it that way.
Right.
So it was funny on the Black Site Studio Hamatsu thing. They were talking about this, that, and I took a picture of all the samurai miniatures that I have, and it's about 250 with some houses and some bridges and stuff. And everybody flipped out, and I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to put this in. And they were even saying like, hey, listen, we have terrain, we have models. Please buy it from us or do your own. Like, I have a model from Test of Honor that I love. That's going to be my sumo guy. All
Gotcha.
right. So I'll use him. But
Hmm.
then again, the model from them is awesome that I printed up the sumo guy, and he is beautiful.
Hmm.
So, they don't really care. Just play the game and have fun. And that's what we're going to do. My thing is this, though. I will say this. I can get this and just give it to a bunch of guys and no. I rather buy it. I like to support the artists because they're working hard. I paid for the pack, and we're going to use the pack. I'm going to print it up, and we're going to use what we paid for. I don't really like when guys steal stuff. I just don't. And if you got a few shekels, you should buy it. Um, the digital version for me was better
Hmm.
because I rather print it, and then if I want to make five more little oni for another game, I have it and it's ready to go. But you should, support these guys, support all the game makers because that's how they make their living, and I feel strongly about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems very interesting and cool. I like me some RPG stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When we were doing D&D, I was DMing, and I like all the intricate stuff like that. So it seems like it's like I said before, combining that with a miniature game, and I think that's like definitely like a really good combination. Like a really good mesh. And it sounds like they're doing it flawlessly.
It's,
You know?
well, nothing's perfect, but this is pretty damn close.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
my thing is like we said, the scratch the itch of the RPG, which I like. But I like that your characters will build up, and also you can run away and like preserve your characters for the next battle. So I like to go through all the adventures with these guys. Um, so I'm thinking where obviously the printing, the painting, I'll take care of, and what I'd like you to do is maybe go over the rules and then
Hmm.
work on the character sheets and whatnot and get us rolling. We
Yeah.
try to get, because I know that we have two other people who are interested, and I have another guy who's a martial artist, and he wants to get involved in this because he's another gamer too. That's actually how we met. We found out that we have black belts in the same karate style.
Hmm.
So you know, it's really it really does scratch the itch of you know being stealthy and stuff like that. And the story is great that the cataclysm happens in feudal Japan, which is just blowing my mind. So, um, yeah, I don't have enough good things to say about it so far. Reading it, printing it, looking at the stuff, and not.
So all in all, um, seems pretty cool. I'm definitely excited to, you know, get the ball rolling and start playing it. If you guys want to see some of what we're doing with Hamatsu, let us know down in the comments below. We could definitely do some more videos on you know gameplay and our thoughts and stuff like
3D
that.
printing
Yeah,
and
yeah,
getting it together and whatnot.
yeah, yeah. So guys, if you look on the screen here, oh, oh, my bad. We got some videos that you might want to check out, which well, you should check out. They're on the screen here. Also, subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. We'll be having more videos coming out in the future on some awesome stuff. We got a bunch of stuff planned coming out in the future. That's about it, guys. See you in the next one.